داير طبعا واضحه من الكره. اكيد اشتكتوا صح؟ حتى انا اشتكت، بس كنت لاهي وين؟ لاهي بطوله كاس الخليج. كان شعار البطوله، وهذه المباراه كويت وقطر اللي تاهلنا فيها لنصف نهائي البطوله. قدر الله ما شاء فعل، ما اخذنا البطوله، ولكن بلا شك ان المنتخب ظهر بشكل ايجابي. غطيت عنكم فتره بسيطه بسبب بطوله كاس الخليج. الحين عودتنا ليش؟ عودتنا نكمل الموسم، واحنا الموسم قلنا فيه 10 شخصيات رياضيه، لاعبين، مدربين، او حتى رؤساء انديه. فحلقتنا اليوم ان شاء الله راح تكون على اللاعب، بس اقول لك اسمه على طول تربطه بنادي، مع انه لعب مع انديه وايد. لعب مع نانت، لعب مع اندرلخت، لعب مع روما، لعب. بس لما تقول كريستيان ويلهامسون على طول يروح بالك على نادي الهلال، ما فيها روح وتعال يا رجل. حتى منتخب السويد ننساه. هذا اللاعب مرتبط بشكل وثيق بنادي الهلال، من اللاعبين اللي صراحه برزوا من افضل المحترفين اللي مروا في الدوري السعودي. لاعب جدا رائع، واكيد مسيرته ودنا نتكلم عنها اكثر واكثر، ودنا نفصل فيها. طبعا بلش فيه دائما، انا ابلش في البدايه. دخلت معاه في موضوع اندرلخت، ربطت فيه كومباني، لانه كومباني كان زميله في نادي اندرلخت. اخذنا بعض المواقف اللي كانت ما بينهم، حققوا بطوله الدوري. اللاعب توهج بشكل كبير، انضم مع منتخب السويد، وايضا لعب لعده انديه، لعب مع بولت الانجليزي، لعب مع روما. وروما اكيد محطه روما ما توقف فيها الا تجيب طاري توتي، لازم. فسالنا عن توتي، سالنا عن اللاعبين الموجودين، وعن الفتره البسيطه اللي قضاها معاهم، وحقق بطوله الكاس مع روما. صراحه وقتها الدوري الايطالي ترى كان فيه شويه مناوشات ما بين الانديه، كان فيه نجوم بكل نادي. فاكيد يعني المحطه هذه وقفنا عندها وسالناه. ولكن بلا شك المنتخب السويدي ومغامره 2004 لما تاهلوا في المجموعه اللي كان معاهم المنتخب الايطالي والبلغاري والدنماركي، والمؤامره بين قوسين اللي صارت لاطاحه بالمنتخب الايطالي. سالنا اللاعب هل كان في مؤامره ضد ايطاليا، وسمعنا منا الاجابه، لان كانت اذا انتهت النتيجه الاخيره في المجموعه ما بين الدنمارك والسويد 2-2، يعني ايطاليا اوت. حتى اذا ايطاليا تفوز على بلغاريا 9-0 اوت، لان كانت تنحذف مشاركات الفريق اللي تحت اذا تساووا بالنقاط، وتصير ما بين الثلاث فرق متواجهه، وتشوف النتيجه اللي تاهل الفريقين. فكانت نتيجه 2-2 معناته الدنمارك والسويد يتاهلون. سالنا هل كان في مؤامره، جاوب عليها اللاعب، وبلا شك راح نخليكم تسمعون اجابته في هذه المقابله. وايضا موضوع نادي الهلال، لازم نادي الهلال نربطه في ويلهامسون. وتكلمنا عن بعض المحطات اللي صارت، تكلمنا عن بعض التصريحات الجدليه، تكلمنا حتى عن قضيه استيقافه في المطار. فبالتالي بعض المواضيع الساخنه اللي ان شاء الله راح تستمتعون فيها. بس اللاعب واضح انه يحب السعوديه ويحب الهلال بشكل مو طبيعي، مرتبط بشكل وثيق. فاكيد انا اتوقع جماهير الهلال راح تستمتع في هذه المقابله، خصوصا مع ذكريات هذا اللاعب. طبعا مع عودتنا نرجع للشاشات مره ثانيه، بتشوفوني بالجمعيات، بتشوفوني بالمجمعات، بتشوفوني بغيرها من الامور عبر شاشات ادزون اللي يمتلكون اكبر شاشات في الكويت وافضلها انتشارا في كل مكان استراتيجي موجودين ولجميع فئات المجتمع. فاكيد ادزون شركه مميزه جدا، افتخر بالتعامل مع هذه الشركه نظرا للاحترافيه اللي شفتها منهم، وايضا داعمين للشباب. Hello Christian, how are you? I hope you are doing well.
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, it's a great
How
pleasure.
are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to speak to you, and I'm very happy to speak to someone who's for me a legend in football, especially in Hilal Football Club. Yeah, you have done an incredible job. We have always been a big fan of you.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Christian, first of all, I would like to talk about your career in Anderlecht. Yeah, it's a great career. You have won the league there. Tell me about your experience in Belgium.
First of all, Anderlecht was very special to me because it was, okay, let's say it this way. It was my first professional contract in a sense of playing in Europe. I moved when I was 19 to Norway, and I was, of course, a professional already there. But for me, it felt like going to Anderlecht, going to play the opportunity to play Champions League and a very big reputation club from Europe. It was a little bit similar to Holland, you know, Ajax and Feyenoord and PSV. So Anderlecht was at that time a very strong name. So for me, it was a big deal. and I really enjoyed it. I was 21 years old when I arrived there, and my best friend became Vincent Kompany, who was captain of Manchester City for a long time. So we became very good friends, and we had 3 very successful years there where we won the leagues and the cup and played every year Champions League. So yeah, very special place in my heart, that club.
Yeah, and for Vincent Company, did you expect him to be that leader at Man City, winning all the trophies?
Yeah, to be honest, you know, he was 17 when I joined. And we found each other directly because when we did the running laps around the lake in pre-season, we were always running together in the beginning because we were both new in the club. We were both new. He came from the under 18 up to the first team, and I was new in the club. So we started to run with each other all the time, and very quickly became good friends, or best friend, I would say. I saw directly that he had something special, not only from a football perspective, but also from his mentality and his mindset. You know, I remember a few times when we went to a game in a bus. We all, you know, in the bus, you playing cards, so you have jokes and you speak to each other. But Vincent, he was studying his school books from school, and I was like surprised, 17 years old, and he was still, you know, focusing on his studies and kept that going. So very impressive. So I knew directly he would be something special.
Yeah, and since you got your first professional contract, what did you first do with your first salary there?
Yeah, my first salary there, I think after I saved up a few months, then I bought a Mercedes. I bought a car. The first thing I did, my first car. Yeah.
Yeah. And when we go to your career at Roma, yeah, you had Totti there. So did Totti help you as a leader?
He was a great leader, but I would say there was a lot of leaders at that time. We had Philip Mexes, center back. We have Daniel De Rossi, Pizarro, Perotta. We had a lot of, you know, strong characters. We had a strong team in Roma when I was there, and yeah, we won the Italian Cup. We were, I think, third in the league, and we reached quarterfinal in Champions League. So that year was a very successful year with a lot of strong players. And Totti was. He had limited English, so it was a little bit difficult sometimes to communicate. But as a player, amazing. You could not, you know, sometimes you did not understand how he could see the passes, how he could see me. I was in his back, and he managed to pass me with a flick or a heel or whatever. I said always he had 2 eyes in his neck as well. He was amazing.
Yeah, he's a different player. And you won the cup
Yeah.
there. So how did it feel?
Very special because for me, when I grew up, Italian league was the biggest league in the world when I was 10, 12 years old. And I always wanted to play in Italy, and then have the chance to win the Italian Cup with Roma and become part of the family there was I'm extremely proud of that.
Yeah. And when we talk about your international career, when we go back to 24, yeah, when you have qualified in the group stage, and Denmark played Sweden in the last game, and the result was 2-2, and this was the only result that will see Italy out and both teams to qualify. So
Yeah.
was there any discussing regarding this thing?
No, there was no discussion. You know, of course, everybody knew about it because the media spoke about it and the newspapers and the so forth. But you know, when you play football, even if you try to make a result, it's very hard to achieve it. And then, of course, it's even more difficult in football and in a European Cup in this situation to play like that. It was just coincidence, but at the same time, in the end, of course, when it's 2-2, we both know, Denmark and Sweden knows that we are qualified. You could see the tempo went down. We took it a little bit easy, but it was just the final minutes. You know, it was because both team was qualified, so there was no reason to risk anything from both teams. But to score 2 goals or to actually let 2 goals in, it's hard to arrange in a way. So it's a big coincidence, but we understand that Italy was very upset, or the Italian fans was very upset. But that's football. It's always these tournaments in Europe and World Cup, it's always done in a way where you can never expect what happens.
Yeah. And for your teammate Zlatan Ibrahimovic, you have a good relationship with him.
Yeah, I played, 10 years in the national team with him, and we also played under 21 together for almost 2 years. So we've been close friends for a long time. We played a long time together. We were good friends, and he's busy with his family and his career. So he's been the last years trying to recover from his injury, trying to come back, and been very busy. I've been busy on my end here in the Middle East with company and working and sports. So we went separate ways. He's in Europe and I'm here, so it is what it is.
Yeah, some people suggest that he's egotistical with his interviews or with his talk. So do you think they are right about this?
He has a way. He grew up in a very different environment in a different way. So I think people are not expecting his answer. Sometimes he's very controversial. He say what he thinks. He's not afraid of that. So I think it's just the personality he is. It's not. It's just different from the regular footballer who always answer in a specific way.
Yeah, and when you dealt with him, you found him modest.
I could see two personalities. There was one, Zlatan, who always competitive, and when he was with the team, the national team, he wanted to win. And then there was the humble one and very caring one when hang out with him when we go on trips, or when we were in airplanes or buses, or we drove the car, or we stayed at home just chilling, playing PlayStation or whatever. So I think not everyone will ever see the humble or the caring Zlatan, because that's his private part or private style, so to speak.
Yeah. And before retiring for Zlatan, where do you find him in Saudi League? Which club?
If he would retire in Saudi, you mean?
Yeah, before retiring, if he would have played there, which club suits him more?
He would be perfect for Hilal. He would be perfect for Hilal. Because he's a winner. He played in all the best clubs in each country. So why shouldn't he play in the best club in Saudi Arabia? So I think there would be no other options than Hilal.
Yeah, and for 2006, there was a curfew, and you are one of the players who broke the rule regarding that. So what happened exactly?
Yeah, so it was with the national team, and one of the players, Olof Mellberg, who played in Aston Villa back then, he had his birthday. So we knew we had to be home at 12 o'clock because there was a game 2 days later. And I remember we were out, maybe 12:30. We came back home, so we were a little bit too late. And of course, rule is a rule, so we had to accept the consequences, and we got put on the side for the next game, both Olof, Zlatan, and me. And then we have to work our way back to come back to the national team.
Yeah. And for Al Hilal club, what does Al Hilal mean to you?
It means a lot. I would say it has a special bond to me, and I said it before, my blood is blue, not red, because it's not only from the 4 years I was there. It's also the how do you say? It's the way I've been treated afterwards, the way the relationship I have with Saudi communities, not only Hilal, but how I get accepted by people from Jeddah, from Kobar, from Dammam. It's I have a special bond to Saudi in general, and that lives on, even now, not only the time I was there playing football. So I'm very humble and very blessed with that.
Yeah. And there is an interview in Sweden that you said Saudi is your second home.
Yeah, I would say it's with the way I feel when I'm in Saudi or in the Middle East is definitely my second home. But I would say even it's maybe my first home. I'm only spending holidays a little bit in Sweden nowadays. So I would say this region is my home for me and my family. So we are very happy here and very blessed to be here in this region.
Yeah, and for Yasser Al-Qahtani, you have suggested that he's your close friend at Al-Hilal. So tell me about your relationship with him.
No, Yasser is a good friend. We played, 4 years together or 3 years. He went to Al Alain. So we played 3 years together. He spoke very good English, first of all. So it was easy to communicate. We became good friends in the club. And now when we meet in Saudi or we meet in Dubai, we always, try to see each other and to have a lunch or a dinner and to keep the relationship. So
Yeah.
a very good friend of mine.
Yeah, and when you first arrived, of course, it's a different culture for you. So who helped you at the first to adapt to the culture?
It was a different way to I would say it was hard to adapt in the beginning because of the heat, first of all, different culture and so forth. So it took almost like 3 months. My engine started to work in January and I arrived in November or something like that, October. So my engine and everything started to come together in January, and then it was going upwards.
Yeah.
And I think it was my teammates and the club, Samir Jaber. The teammates in the club at that time was very helpful. They had patience. And I think it's important that the club shows patience in the beginning because it's not easy when you arrive. And the league is good quality as well.
Yeah. And what are the strangest things or the weirdest things that you found when you have arrived in Saudi Arabia?
I don't know. I remember there was someone who wanted to gift me a camel because he liked the way I was playing and I scored a goal. So he said, I want to give you a camel as present. And I said, where do you want to keep, where I should keep my camel? I cannot have it in my house. So, but apparently it was a very beautiful one, a nice one. But yeah, unfortunately I couldn't accept it. And so some of that, yeah.
Yeah, are the weirdest thing. And what's your best memory at Al Hilal?
Best memories, probably. There is a few good memories when we won the league or the King's Cup or the Crown Cup. I scored always the goal against Nasser is always a little bit special. I remember I scored one goal in the extra time against Nasser. I think it was a semi-final in the cup, but it was that's one of the best memories for sure.
Yeah. And is it true that you have said before that it only takes you 10 minutes to win against the Nasser?
Yeah, when I was playing at least. I don't know. No, it's maybe a little bit out of a joke, but I had good games against Nasser. I think there was the atmosphere, the supporters, everyone made it very special, those games. So and that lives on now, and it's important that we need fans from every club, to engage and to support, because that makes the football so much fun and so much love to the football. And so it's important. And I just was fortunate that I managed to play good against Nasser, who was our primary opponent back then. So good times.
Yeah. And what makes Al Hilal fans different to other fans?
I think, first of all, they are passionate. They have extreme love for the club and they are loyal. And this if you look at the club, they also encourage or treat their fans very well and trying to do as good as they can for their fans, and that gives loves back. So I think it's the two-way communication of appreciation that makes the fans so loyal and so grateful and so good.
Yeah. And what was your problem in the airport when you have arrived in Saudi?
No, I had some issues with no, it was, I don't know, there was a lot of people, first of all, when I arrived. And there was one incident when I tried to, I think I wanted to, my wife was traveling So I wanted to help her out, and I think there was I passed some security where I was not allowed to go. So I just had to come with the security, and they had to help me out and help her inside. So there was some issues with the security breach, but I was not aware of where I could go and not to go. So
Yeah, and before the signings now, before Cristiano Ronaldo or all the other signings, you have said that Omar Al-Soma is the best foreigner in the league.
yeah, back then when he was playing, he was very consistent. He played on a high level for a long time. So I liked his way of playing. He looked very strong, and he was very professional as well. So at that time, I would say he was the best one. Yeah.
Yeah, and for now, this season so far,
I would say this season, Savic, it has been good in Hilal. I like the way, of course, Mitrovic has scored goals. Ronaldo has scored goals, even if he's a Nasrawi. These players have performed, and I'm very pleased. Salem has been playing very well, at least the last in the end of the season. So there was a few good players, so they performed very well.
yeah. And when you told me about Cristiano, I remember your Arda. Remember when you did the Arda after one of your goals? Tell me the story behind that.
That was a friend of mine there in Saudi who said, I promised that I think we watched some ceremonies or something from Saudi dance with the sword. So I said, if I score tomorrow, I will do that for you. And then I managed to score, so it was no turning back.
Yeah, and now Cristiano is doing it.
Yeah, I've seen he has done it as well. So yeah, I inspired even him.
Yeah, and for Al-Hilal, I think it was a different feeling for you to see them winning the Asian Champions League.
Yeah, that was amazing, of course. I wish I had the opportunity to do it myself, but very glad with the performance they had the last years. And Fahad, the president, has done a great job alongside his staff and all the people around the club. So they have taken to the next level in terms of professional and handling the players and the environment for the club. So very pleased and very happy for their success.
Yeah, and in general about your career, what's the best thing about your career that you remember always?
It's a long career and I have so many good memories. But you know, first of all, the first time you represent your country as a national team, as a player, is very special, of course. And then you have the World Cup, you have the European Cup. This kind of, when you present the countries, it makes you very proud. And then you have individual situation where you has memory when you score a goal and when you win a cup or a league or so forth. So it's hard to pick one, but yeah, playing for your country is always on the top for sure.
Yeah, and the worst memory?
Worst memory is probably when I got injured a few times, when I got some injuries, when I made me disappointed, of course. And also when the last year of Hilal, when I left, was sad. I wish I would stayed longer. I wish I could at least played 1 or 2 years more in the club. But everything has to come to an end for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And you are still going to Al-Hilal games. I see you from time to time. You're going to Al-Hilal, watching them. Yeah, you are too attached to the club.
Yeah. I try to go there to see some games from time to time when I'm in Riyadh. And then, of course, I'm watching them on TV and try to keep up with the club.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Kристian, for your time. Thank you for everything. I really enjoyed your talk.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you. مع ختام المقابلة بلا شك نذكركم عندك إصابة، عندك موسم تستعد له وتبي إعادة تأهيل، تبي تقوي اللياقة البدنية، تبي شغل احترافي بوجود لاعبين سابقين ومدربين ومسؤولين أكفاء، فيزيو حاضرين وموجودين. راح أحط لكم الرابط في الديسكريبشن، تقدر تشوف وتدخل وتتأكد بنفسك وتشوف الخدمات اللي يقدمونها، وأكيد شركة احترافية. ودام طرينا إيطاليا لازم نذكر شركة بريميرو، طبعا طيب الذكر السيد طواري مدلول اللي أكيد نشكره لأنه هو دائما داعم للشباب والرياضيين. شركة بريميرو أي شيء يخص إيطاليا ادخل عليهم راح تحصل الأندية المميزة نفس ليرنتانا وفريزونوني، وبالإضافة أن شغلهم جودة عالية. مثلا عندك أكاديمية ولا عندك نادي أو غيره من الأمور وتبي تتعامل مثلا مع مجموعة أو قطع من الملابس، تقدر تتواصل معاهم، جودة عالية وشغل مرتب من شركة بريميرو. وفي الختام أشكركم على كل الدعم اللي تحصلناه في الفترة الأخيرة، والله الحمد مشاهدات القناة ارتفعت، هذا الفضل من الله ثم مجهودكم الرائع معاي. لا تنسون باللايك، بالسبسكرايب، بالشير، وبكل حاجة. أي شيء قدامك دوس عليه إلا الريبورت، بس هذا اللي لا تدوسه، الباقي عادي خذ راحتك، سوي اللي تبي تسويه. شكرا على المتابعة.